Again, it's a 10-year-old car, and it's got over 100,000 miles.
Cash out $10,000 from one of these credit cards into your bank account directly.
All right. As always, we're looking at people trying to buy cars they have no business buying. Then some of the worst financial advice TikTok has to offer. And finally, a guy thinking about buying an SUV to live in so he doesn't have to pay rent. What could possibly go wrong here?
Okay, so like I said to you this morning on the phone, because you told me you have bad credit, it's going to be hard to get an approval with $3,000 down on a 2015. That's what you're not understanding. You know what I mean? Again, it's a 10-year-old car, and it's got over 100,000 miles. But if you want to get your own financing, and if I can get you a bill of sale, you can feel free. But I just know if I run your credit, I won't be able to get you approved for $3,000 down. But if you still want to go inside and run your credit, I have no problem with that.
So do you think the bank will not consider me?
With $3,000 down and a 500 credit score? No, I don't think so. Just like I told you on the phone.
A 500 credit score is bad enough. Add in a 10-year-old vehicle with 100,000 miles. And a used car salesman that's saying no. That should probably tell you something, but not here.
Okay, I think I checked which bank they're using for my previous vehicle. I sold it.
You sold it?
Yeah, I returned to the bank.
You returned to the bank?
Yeah, voluntarily.
So that's a repossession.
Repossession.
I'm not going to get you approved with $3,000 down. Just like I told you on the phone before, now it's 100%. I'm not even trying to be rude. I'm trying to be serious.
How the Mercedes Benz 550 GLS 550?
I don't know how they got you approved. I don't even know if they really did get you approved, to be honest with you. But I know that I'm not going to be able to get you approved with a prior repossession and only $3,000 down on a car that's 10 years old.
And it gets worse. A voluntary repo. That'll get you straight into the worst credit tier with the highest possible interest rate. Somehow he claims he was approved at Mercedes-Benz. Which brings up the obvious question. Why does somebody who can't pay their bills need a luxury SUV?
Especially with a prior voluntary repossession, you know?
Yeah.
Just because you did it voluntary, it doesn't mean that it's better, you know? It still has the same effect on the credit.
Already done, everything is over, right?
Well, yeah. Once you return it, it's over with, okay. But you're going to need more than $3,000 down, my friend. I promise.
So how they approve that?
I don't know. I don't know who they is either. Who's they?
Mercedes-Benz.
You went to a Mercedes-Benz dealership and they got you approved?
Yeah.
If they got you approved with only $3,000 down, take it. I don't know why you didn't buy it already.
No, because that is a Mercedes. These type we are used to. Basically, I'm used to. Last 50. You don't want to waste time?
Trying to finance a car in this guy's position is basically asking for the highest price possible. If he just had a repo, chances are his financial situation hasn't changed. But he's clearly willing to make it worse. If he really is that desperate for a car, it should be something in that $3,000 range. The same amount he's talking about using as a down payment.
I'm interested in that 2012 Land Cruiser you have.
Yeah, that's a very nice one. One owner, 56 service records, and out of California, so it's ready to go.
Let me ask you, I tried to buy one a couple weeks ago. I had sent in my application, but I had a little problem there. They said if it was a 2014, they would have financed me, but only 2012, they said they can't finance it unless I put a bunch of money down.
How's your credit?
I'm like an 800 credit score.
Okay, wow. That should be easy for me. That should be an easy deal. Let me pull you up real quick. I ran it, and it shows a repossession a couple years ago. Do you know anything about that?
An 800 credit score on a repo a few years ago doesn't add up. I've got a clean report, and I'm around 800. A repo can knock your score down 100 points or more. A few years isn't nearly enough time for that type of recovery. There's no way he's an 800, not even close.
Yeah, that was my ex-wife. She was on a car, and I didn't even know she wasn't making the payments. The next thing I know, they took the car. She didn't care.
It hurts your credit, though, because you co-signed for it. How much money do you think you put down on that Land Cruiser?
I probably put down the tax and license and maybe more, a little 10% more or something like that.
3,000-4,000. Okay. It looks like you've been on a job 18 years. Is that right?
Yes.
And homeowner, all of that? I'll go to work because I just got one identical to yours approved. Don't worry about anything. Can I call you back maybe 15, 20 20 minutes. This should be easy, believe it or not. Customer claimed he was an 800 score. When we ran it, it came in well below 600. He was on the loan, and it shows a voluntary repossession on there from a couple years ago.
The issue I have with this one is simple. He co-signed a loan and then didn't pay. This isn't someone who should be financing a car. This is someone who signed a contract saying he would pay if his ex didn't. And when it came time to do that, he didn't.
If you're stuck in negative equity, this is what you do to get out of your car loan. This is my PayPal account, and as you can see, I have a few American Express credit cards along with different other credit cards like Chase and my MasterCard. So let's say you're in negative equity $10,000. So you can basically add a credit card to PayPal, cash out $10,000 from one of these credit cards into your bank account directly, withdrawing from the PayPal app. If you want to learn how to grow, build, and invest your credit, go ahead and join my free community by commenting the word blueprint. What I would do is go to CarMax, and CarMax is basically going to give you the best value for your car.
You really can't make this stuff up. He actually thinks this is a good idea. To pay off your car debt by maxing out your credit card. Somehow in his mind, making the situation worse is the solution. The worst part is, I'm sure there are a few people that took his advice.
So after you go to CarMax, they might give you, let's say, to where you only have to pay $9,000 instead of $10,000 in negative equity, because they're giving you more value for your car whenever they purchase it. So now you would take that money that's now in your bank account that came off of this credit card and go ahead and pay the negative equity. And of course, you have to pay the credit card back, but you're paying the credit card instead of paying an actual car note or paying the rest of the car note term or whatever the case is. And that's basically how I run my rental car business. If we're done with the car and the car has made us enough money and we don't want to have it anymore due to mileage or whatever the case is, I'll go ahead and run this play, get rid of the car, and I've made my profit off of the car.
This is one of the worst ideas I've heard. He doesn't even mention the interest rate on the credit card. If somebody actually followed his advice, they'd end up in a much worse situation than when they started. If you can't come up with the amount you were under on a car, how are you supposed to pay off a maxed out credit card? I'd bet the money saved on the car payment isn't going towards the debt. It'll be going right into financing another car.
Repos, repossessions, don't worry. It's how you're going to get a car with bad credit and $0 down, even with a repo. Here's the deal. When you have a repo, it makes things a little bit more complicated, even if you have good credit, because a repo is like a red flag to most lenders. But it's okay because you're not stuck. You don't have to pay that repo off. Let me just say that again. You don't have to pay that repo off. You just need it to get gone.
A repo is a red flag to most lenders. I'll just pretend she didn't say that. Apparently all you have to do is get it gone. Don't worry about actually paying it. Because being stuck paying for a vehicle you agreed to, that's just optional now. A legal contract doesn't mean anything anymore. And don't even worry about getting sued down the road. That's a problem for future you.
Remove that repo. So in my DIY credit repair bundle, it shows you how to remove repos, charge-offs, collections, bankruptcies, all of that. Actually broken down in step-by-step videos tailored to different situations. So you're literally watching, following it along, and doing it yourself as you're watching somebody else do it. What to click, what to write, where to send it, all of that. So if you have a repo and you're trying to get a car, step 1, remove the repo. Link in my bio for the credit repair bundle if you don't know how to remove a repo. Step 2, boost your score with a trade line, and that only takes 7 days.
I'm going to let you in on what's probably in that credit bundle. She's going to tell people to dispute the item that's on the credit report. If the lender can't verify it within 30 days, it gets removed. This, of course, requires you being dishonest. You're claiming something isn't yours when it clearly is. Even if it works, it doesn't remove the debt. It doesn't stop collections, and it doesn't prevent lawsuits. And in a lot of cases, the account just gets re-reported later anyway.
I have found myself, like, in 14 months that I've been to, say, United States, I've been into this loop, and my income is like very low, and I can't seem to bring it any higher because I don't have any experience. I'm server at a restaurant, like I make about $3,000 per month. So I was thinking, like, should I avoid rent and then buy like a SUV and then kind of live in it until I save up some money and get some skills, or is it a stupid idea?
It's surprising this is even a question. Financing a vehicle to live in it. I'd much rather rent an apartment, or even just a room, not have a car at all. At least rent gives you a roof, heat, a bathroom, stability. A financed SUV just gives you a payment, insurance, and maintenance. And a problem that'll likely get worse every month.
Where are you living now?
West Haven, Connecticut.
No, where? Like, are you renting an apartment? Are you living with family, friends?
I'm renting an apartment. It's about like $650 per month. It's not much, but my income is also very low.
Okay. No, 650 sounds very reasonable.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with that?
Yeah. Well, how are you having trouble keeping it together?
Did you take on debt?
I have like 4K for down payment. Then yeah, I was thinking about financing one, and then putting the rent on the finance car, and that way I could go to school like easier and everything. But if I can buy a car and rent a room, but I won't be able to save a penny.
$650 a month in rent. No debt and making $3,000 a month. That's honestly not that bad. He's probably in a better position than a lot of people. When you look at people putting themselves through school, they usually aren't saving anything either. You struggle during that period, but there's a reason for it. The goal is to come out the other side with a better income and more options than you had before.
And like I would be stuck in this situation for like very long. That's what I'm thinking.
Can I give you a pro tip for being a new immigrant to the States? And if you can avoid this thing, you will have such a wonderful life of opportunity. And it's this: don't fall for the American trap of debt. No country in the world makes it so easy and so attractive to take on payments like the U.S. And I'm scared that you're already getting starry-eyed going, ooh, could finance a car, and they're saying they can get the payment down to $300 a month, and so I might as well get a nicer, newer car. Do you have any debt currently?
No.
Yeah, please take it from two guys who've been down that road. Don't do that.
It's crazy to me that someone would even consider this as an option. It's not because he has to, but because he wants that vehicle and he thinks it's going to help him save money. He's willing to give up a stable place to live to buy a car he can't afford. And that's the real issue here. This isn't about survival or necessity. It's about priorities being completely backwards. If you want to see more, you know what to do. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.